Farrah Douglas, head coach of Thomas College's women's varsity rugby program. I think your average collegiate coach would define success by wins and losses, but I think in the building years of a new program, success is connected to culture, creating a culture that is sustainable, that is positive, that retains players and draws players not only from off campus, but on campus. And then within that, I think success looks like development. Players that are growing from the first day they come out to preseason practice to the last day of the season. I wouldn't exactly call myself a superstitious person, but I definitely have to have coffee before games, and I have a playlist that I listen to when I drive to the pitch. Not superstition, but after my team wins a match, I may show up to work that following Monday in a unicorn onesie. So that's an interesting journey for me. I went to college to run cross country and to compete in indoor and outdoor track at Bowdoin College. And if anybody's met me, I am not built like your typical distance runner. And I was the team fat kid and probably was one of the slowest people on the team, and I quit. I said, Coach, I'll see you at indoor and outdoor track. Someone was recruiting for rugby. I asked, what is that? And they kind of explained it to me, and there was a description about like soccer and football, which is how I explain it now. And I said, oh, well, I'll go. And the first practice they were tackling, and I immediately thought, this is amazing. My mother's gonna hate it. She wouldn't let me play football. Yes. And I never looked back. Right now, that's probably a loaded question. I started playing for the US, or rather, I got into the player pool late in life. I probably was like 26 years old. So see, there's hope for everybody. You got invited to a US camp, and then you just kind of tried to show up to everything that you could, and that's what I did. If I got invited to a camp, I went. And so I was a squeaky wheel, very undersized for my position, and I played for 8 years for the US in the front row, two very, very different positions, but I was meant to be a prop. So I have 26 test match appearances, and for those of you who are new to rugby, a test appearance means that I played in a match that counts towards the US's win and loss record. And then I was a part of the 2006 World Cup squad. I did not see time on field, but it was an amazing experience because I understood so much better going into the next cycle what I needed to do. So in 2010, myself and Jamie Burke arguably were our best props. We both played 5 matches. I started 4 out of 5. I'm really blessed to have had some of the teammates I've played with. Jamie is in the USA Rugby Hall of Fame. Well, 2010, I tried to retire, and Pete Steinberg had taken over the program from Kathy Flores and talked me into coming back. And I was training for a marathon. It was like the thing I wanted to check off my box, so we negotiated. So my last year playing for the US, I trained for an international tour and a marathon. So given life now, that's kind of not surprising. And then I went into coach development for high performance, and that saw me assistant coaching for the 2014 World Cup. I came in as a scrum specialist, briefly took over all of the forwards, and then as we got closer into World Cup, I specialized in skill development for the forwards. Then in 2015, I took on a 2-year contract head coaching, what at that time we called the High School All-Americans, but essentially it was the US U18 girls program, and I started U16 pool within that. We were very successful. My assistant coach was Annalie Bidewell, and she is currently our Olympic sevens coach, just won a bronze medal. So like in all things that I've done in rugby, I've been really, really blessed with teammates and colleagues that I ultra run. Despite being a cross country runner, I actually hated running. just to check it off the box, I wanted to run a marathon when I retired and had no intention of coming back to it. But somehow running broke me, or my brain, I'm not even sure. But to date, I've run 30 half marathons, 30 marathons, 6 50Ks. I've attempted 100 miles 3 times, completed it once, and I've run 5 50 milers. And at one point in time, I had, I was in the top 50 for fastest women at 50-mile distance in North America. I'm not now, but as a prop, I'm gonna go with that. That's also what surprises people, is that I played prop and that I run ultras. But I just say, you know, prop is the best position on field, and we do everything.